Hey everyone, welcome back to the Glass Seats podcast. This is where two hockey aficionados discuss their perspectives on headlines surrounding the NHL, including recent stories, game highlights, league culture, and other topics trending amongst the fans. I'm Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal, and this week, hockey has gotten real spicy.
Real interesting.
All of these playoff series, it's gotten real heated, real fast.
Yeah.
And this is what we love about the NHL playoffs, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Things that look like they were going to be sweeps, looks like they're going to go to 7. And other ones that look like they should have ended in 7 are probably going to end in 5. So
I know. Yeah, a lot of what we talked about last episode has already gone out the window.
Yeah.
So no sweeps this year.
Yeah.
Which usually there's one.
Yeah. At least in the first round. Yeah.
Yeah. No sweeps. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So this episode we're going to go through each of the series, give our thoughts, and then we have another couple other topics at the end of the show.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
All right, let's go through here. Boston versus Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers in 5, huh?
Yeah, my predictions is looking real frosty right now.
Yeah, ice cold.
Yeah.
You could play on that prediction.
Yeah, and it's not just that. Boston looking unstoppable as they have been all season, but Florida looks lost, undisciplined.
Yeah.
Having Matthew Tkachuk taking dumb penalties is not really helping their case at all. Considering he might be their most productive offensive forward. I'm not entirely sure about that. But yeah, you can't be taking penalties like that against a team this strong. I believe Boston and Florida are playing tomorrow. But I expect that to be wrapped up nicely in 5 games. So I got the game count right.
Yeah.
Just got the opponent wrong. So
Yep. That President's Trophy curse just means you can't win the cup.
Yeah.
Not the first series.
Yeah. You might go to the finals though, but you won't win the cup.
Yeah. And plus, Florida switched their goalies. They went from Alec Leon back to Sergei Bobrovsky.
Mm-hmm.
Did not help.
Yeah. I'm not sure why. Honestly, I don't know why they did that, but yeah.
Yeah, you got to try something, I guess.
Yeah.
But, what I've loved watching in Boston is the patience. They don't panic.
No.
Florida came out, what was the last game? Game 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they pushed,
Mm-hmm.
hard. It was 6 shots to nothing in the first period. No panic on Boston.
Yeah.
Even when they get scored on, you see their game does not change.
Yeah.
So whatever Jim Montgomery is saying behind the bench, saying in the room, it's working. Usually in the playoffs, you see the emotions go high. Teams swing either way. So they're playing terribly, then suddenly they play really well. Mm-hmm. Boston is playing like Boston. It does not matter what Florida does.
Yeah.
And I can already see the frustrations showing up on Florida,
Yeah, that's what I kind of meant by Boston looking like they're unstoppable all season. It barely looks like they have noticed this is even a playoff game. They're just dominating as if this is the regular season all over again. Mm-hmm. And which is honestly the good mentality to have if you're a playoff team. You don't want you need the 16 wins. They're just like, we're just here to win hockey games, and it's showing. But Florida looks undisciplined. They look frustrated, as you said. Yeah, Boston's got this in the bag.
I can't find a weakness in Boston's games.
No.
They're physical. They're fast. They pass well.
Yeah.
Allmark's been incredible.
Yeah.
How are you going to stop this team?
Yeah, if there's a team that's breaking this President's Trophy curse, it's this one. It's this 22-23 Boston Bruins team for sure.
And they still don't have Bergeron back in the lineup.
It's just unreal.
If he comes back, they'll be better.
Yeah, unreal. There's not much else to say. They're unreal. My take has gone down the garbage, and if this somehow goes to 7, I don't think it will. I will be very shocked by that.
Yeah, it'll take a miracle from Florida. So
yeah.
It's not over till it's over, but
of course.
Boston's looking pretty good to win this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, moving on here. Toronto versus Tampa. When I said spicy, this one's gotten real spicy.
Extra spicy.
Honestly, my favorite part of this series might be the crap that Sheldon Keefe and John Cooper are throwing at each other in the media.
Yeah.
You've been following that?
I have, yeah. I very briefly, but yes, I have. It's very petty.
Yeah. Oh, you're manipulating the refs. Oh, your guys are just soft, and just back and forth after every game.
Yeah.
No matter what team wins.
Yeah.
But through all of that, Toronto is up 3-1.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Okay, so I don't want to say it's not Toronto's fault. Obviously, Toronto played stellar in the last 10 minutes of the last game. Mm-hmm. But Tampa, how do you have 2 meltdowns in back-to-back games on home ice? This series could very easily be 3-1 Tampa right now.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, it should be. But that's a shame. Toronto will clinch this in 6. And again, there's the whole stereotype. Oh, the Leafs somehow find they're not going to blow it. They've learned the lesson from Montreal when they blew it at 3-1. They're not going to blow this one. This team looks different. The same way, Florida looked just so much more disciplined and like scary last year as a President's Trophy winner. Sure, they didn't get past the first round, but I mean, still, like this Tampa team is not the one that won championships and went to the finals in the past 3 years. The Tampa's done.
Yeah. I will say this for Toronto. I'm not so sold on this one. I think either team could still win this, and because if this was any team besides Tampa, I would agree with you. But it's Tampa. So I will say this. If Toronto comes out of the gate in any one of these clinching games, 5, 6, 7, plays hard, gets the first goal, and does not give up the lead, I think they got this.
Yeah.
And the good thing for Toronto is you have 3 chances to do this. The problem that I have is the past 2 games were comeback victories. That's not a repeatable formula for success.
Of course.
Especially against Tampa, who has done this for the past 3 years, like you said.
Yeah.
So if Toronto's going to win this, their game plan better be to come out hard and come out fast. If you let Tampa have any momentum, they're going to take it.
So you're saying it's not just a war on ice, it's psychological warfare.
Oh, absolutely. Why do you think Keefe and Cooper are going back and forth? This is all psychological. And I should put it this way. I'm putting my faith in John Cooper to revitalize his squad.
Yeah.
And I will say I'm sure they're playing hurt. Yes. Like Hedman came back sooner than expected. Yeah. Point came back sooner than expected. Yeah. I think Cernak is still out, right?
Yeah, he is.
So they are playing hurt, which is hurting them.
Right.
But if Tampa Bay wants to win this, they need to seize whatever momentum Toronto gives them. If Toronto wants to win this, they cannot give Tampa any momentum.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you lose Game 5, your best chance to win is Game 5.
Right, of course.
You lose Game 5, you get to Game 6, it's going to be even harder. You get to Game 7, who knows?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we had a conversation about if this goes to 7, you don't think Toronto's going to win this.
Oh, no. I've seen Toronto in too many Game 7s to believe they'll win a Game 7.
I somehow even feel like even if it goes to Game 7, I think Toronto will find a way to win this. I just don't. This Toronto team looks different. They really do. I mean, sure, with the reinforcements of, O'Reilly and everything, it probably helps.
Yeah, I will say that. Having those 2 Blues players, Ryan O'Reilly and Nola Chari on Toronto now, I think helps.
Yes.
Because like Tampa, they've seen that adversity. They've won the Cup recently.
Yeah. But I don't think there's any scenario, honestly, where Tampa comes back in this. Can you imagine the meltdown Toronto would have to blow this series? It's just not going to happen again. They've done it too many times.
But that's the thing. They've done it so many times. Like I said in our preview episode, I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay, fair enough.
The other thing to note in this series is Michael Bunting is back.
Yeah.
So
okay,
if you were the coach of the Leafs, what are you doing with Bunting?
Sitting him.
Yeah, for most of the game. Same.
Unless there's a 4-goal lead in game whatever 5-6.
Yeah.
Sit the man. Yeah. Don't give him anything.
I might just scratch him.
Yeah. If this. I think this goes back to a conversation 2019, and it was Sharks Vegas Game 7. They were up 3-0. Everyone was like, oh, there shouldn't have been a major penalty. Why did you give Sharks anything?
Yeah.
Don't give them anything. You were up 3-0, curb stomp them, and finish them off. And instead, you took a major penalty.
Even with the major, you still allowed 3 goals.
4 goals.
4 goals.
4 goals.
Yeah.
I was like, don't give them anything. If you're Toronto, learn from that. Don't give them anything, and then you'll clinch the series.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't put Bunting back in the lineup.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
They look good since he went out. Don't mess with it.
Yeah.
Matthew Nyes has looked good.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it.
Yeah. It's just leave it as is. The formula is working. Just play hard and get that win.
And if you guys make it, he can come back in Game 1, Round 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Moving along here. Carolina, New York. Carolina up 3-1, playing right now as well.
But they're down 3-1 in Game 5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that game comes out. But what do you think so far?
Not much to say. Honestly, this series is going exactly as expected. I think I predicted Carolina in 6 originally. I'm still sticking with that. I do think the Islanders have this one game in them, Game 5 that's going on right now. But I don't know. Carolina just looks too overall well put together to be taken down by this Islanders team. I would be very shocked if this goes past 6 with Carolina reigning on top.
Yeah, honestly, Carolina's look good. If I had to say any series that has gone as I expected, it's probably this one.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
I agree. Yeah,
Burns has looked good. They've held up their depth well against injury. So I hope Carolina can close this out. I think they've earned it. So
I'm glad you mentioned Burns too. Burns has looked stellar. Like
yeah.
he looks like Norris winning Burns from 2016, 17, around that era. Yeah, he looks good.
And with like Svechnikov and Pacioretty out, like I think they're relying on him for a lot of offense, and he's delivering.
Yeah. Do you know if they're due back anytime this playoffs?
I think Svechnikov is done for the year.
Okay.
I can just check on that real quick. It says here, I'm looking at CBS Sports, Pacioretty is supposed to be back by April 30th.
Got it.
So that would be...
like Sunday?
April 30th is Sunday, yeah. So if they don't win by then, it'll be like game 6 or 7. Svechnikov... Oh, I forgot about Teuvo Teravainen. He's also out. And it says listed here is out until May 2nd.
Yeah. That might be a tough one for them. But, I mean, they've looked good anyways, so...
Yeah, Svechnikov, it says out till September 15th, so start of next season.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, Pacioretty's no slouch if Teravainen comes back. So I expect, it's always a war of attrition. So we'll see how Carolina balances their roster going forward. But they're looking good so far.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to the Devils and Rangers. Let's just say this looks more like the series I expected. A lot more close, and something really interesting to note, other than the away team has won every single game, is I believe every game has been the losing team has not scored more than like one goal, I think.
Yeah.
Per
something
game.
like that.
So wild. I mean, like getting absolutely clamped on defense or just absolutely blown out. There's no in between for both teams. So this looks a lot more like the series I expected. What's your general takeaway from this so far?
So the Devils switched their goalie. They went from Vitek Vanacek to Schmid, and they have changed their defense. The Rangers' offense in the past 2 games in Jersey completely stifled.
Right.
They just gum up the neutral zone. They can't get great shots on net. Once in a while, they'll break through, and it'll take like an incredible play from like Kane or Tarasenko to get a shot on goal. But for the most part, what we saw in Game 1 and Game 2, the Devils have cut it out. So whether that was the goalie switch and changing that chemistry in the locker room, whether the coach or the captain or someone said something, I don't know. But the past 2 games, the Devils have looked like a different team.
Yeah.
And they changed this into this super low event hockey game, which I wasn't expecting in the preview. Honestly, I think they tried to run and gun against the Devils the Devils tried to run and gun against the Rangers because that's what the hockey the Devils have played all year.
Yeah.
And for 2 games it didn't work. So now they're doing the opposite and it's working. So props to the coaching staff or whoever made that change. Yeah. But honestly, I had picked the Rangers at the start of this. I might have to switch to the Devils.
At this point, when I made this prediction, I said originally Devils in 7, but easily this could be Rangers in 7 too. The only thing I'm pretty sure that of the series is going to go to 7.
Yeah.
Who wins? I have no idea. Whoever wants it more, really. I mean, this series is all of a sudden, it's a lot closer than we expected. And, it's going to be a fight to the finish. That is the point I'm trying to make. And, we'll see how it, pans out. But I think it's going to be, I think these next 3 games are going to be very telling of, who will actually go far in the playoffs. As we've seen, Kane has done, pretty incredible. I think he's at 5, maybe 6 points so far.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And it's just, I think one of these teams, whichever one, has a chance to going at least to the East Finals. So we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I think it's really going to be a fight to the finish.
Yeah, and this is another series I think is a coaching battle.
Yeah.
Like, Gallant needs to respond now.
Yes.
The Devils have played their cards.
Yes.
So we need to see something from Gallant, change up the lines, get some offense going, however he does it.
Yeah. He's got to make something happen fast.
Yeah. All right, looking up here to the West, Colorado, Seattle. Seattle making this a series, man.
Wow, yeah. All I have to say is wow. I mean,
tied 2-2.
I think when we made these predictions, I said I'd be impressed if this even went to 6. It's going to 6, and the craziest part is they could very possibly take a 3-2 lead now with McCarr being suspended in the game.
Yeah.
They announced today he's got suspended 1 game for his late hit on McCann, which I think was honestly the right call.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what were your thoughts on that hit?
I think it's the right call. I think it's the perfect amount of games. McCarr's not known to be a dirty player. He's known to be a very good kid, but I'm not really sure what went through his head during that. That was a blatant late hit. It wasn't needed at all. So hopefully McCann's okay, but we'll see.
So in the post-game interviews and things, so apparently what happened was McCarr didn't realize that the puck had gone out of play, and McCann did.
I see.
So McCann stopped playing, but McCarr didn't. So McCarr hit McCann when he wasn't expecting it. And that's kind of what happened.
Interesting. Okay.
Honestly, if you look at it, the refs also did not realize that the puck went out of play. So the whistle was late. So McCarr technically was playing to the whistle, but the whistle should have been blown earlier. The other confusing part about this was originally that hit was called a major penalty. The refs reviewed it and downgraded it to the minor, and they gave Dave Haxtell, coach of the Kraken, the explanation that, we also thought that the puck was in play, so it's not McCarr's not as much his fault.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Department of Player Safety disagreed and said, hey, 1 game suspension.
Yeah.
Because you shoved his head against the boards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the Department of Player Safety kind of needed to do this. Otherwise, it kind of just leaves it up in the air and be like, oh, well, you can just get away with it. It was a dirty hit. Whether he meant it or not, he probably didn't. It was a dirty hit. And you just can't, you can't tolerate it. You just have to, discipline that. So I think the Department of Player Safety was kind of backed into a corner.
The gripe I want to pick with this, the refs reviewed it, said it should be a minor with the reasoning, we also thought that the puck was in play. What is the point of reviewing it?
Yeah.
If you're going to call the penalty based on what you thought happened.
Yeah.
You have a review.
Yeah.
You know the puck went out of play.
We could, honestly, this podcast could be an hour and a half if we go off on this. There's just been so many infamous calls that have happened where it's like, why is this not a reviewable play? That's an entire...
Okay, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Why is it not reviewable?
Yeah.
But this one, you had the benefit of review.
Yeah.
The whole reason they had this rule change is new either this season or last season, where you can review a major penalty and downgrade it to a minor. So the whole reason the refs call it a major is so they can review it.
Right.
But then with the benefit of the review, you gave the explanation of, I thought this happened.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I think...
That's just incompetence at this point,
right?
I
don't even think it's incompetence. I think they're scared. I think it's a little bit of a, I don't want anyone to get mad at me type of deal.
Okay, but you're a ref, man. Someone's going to get mad at you.
Yes.
You call a penalty, or you don't call a penalty.
Yeah.
One of the team's going to be mad at you.
I'm just saying, I think that's what was going through their head in that very moment. I think they were just like,
Get off the ice.
It's a soft...
What is this?
Soft way out.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, soft way out, but...
So, do you remember hockey before they had the reviews?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part.
Yeah. At that point, you just sucked it up.
Yeah.
Ref missed something, he missed something.
Yeah.
If you're going to add the reviews, you're going to slow down the game. You're going to have the fucking 5 minutes of watching the ref on the little headphone, no action going on.
Yeah.
And you're still going to get a call wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just...
You might as well get rid of review.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I also... My issue with that, too, is... I mean, this also just might be... We live in the day and age of social media now. When we first started watching, there's no Instagram or whatever. Everyone complains about the refs nowadays. Yeah. Everyone. And it's like, it seems like it's the problem is getting worse and worse. Sure, there's a lot on the line. There's sports betting is legal, whatever, all this. But it's getting out of control bad, in my opinion. To the point where it's affecting games. And if you're an Avalanche fan, I would be pissed about the suspension.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, the refs have too much power, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, yeah. What is the point of review?
Yeah.
If you're not going to call it right. Even if you had given some other explanation of, we thought it was contact with the head, but it wasn't, or whatever, then, okay. But the explanation of, I thought this happened, that's why you have the review.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
It's whatever. There's been a lot of weird calls in all of these series, but this one really irked me because with the review, you called it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I don't know. I genuinely do not know what to make of it anymore. But,
Yeah.
I'll just let it be.
All right. We'll see where that one goes.
Yeah.
Moving on to Dallas, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Are these the two most complete teams in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, I'm not sure. In the West, it could be. But in my opinion, I think Dallas looks better. I think Dallas looks dominant. And truthfully, I mean, this might be a hot take, but I think the only reason this series isn't 3-1 is because of that lucky bounce for Minnesota in Game 1, double overtime. I mean, they had no business winning that game, and they got that extremely fortunate bounce. And, it's 2-2 right now. I believe they're playing either later tonight or they have started. And so Game 5 has started, but I don't know. I think Dallas is going to take this. They've looked really good. Minnesota, sure, they've responded, but I don't know if they got this. Dallas looks like they're going to clinch this in 6, maybe 7. So
some good news for Dallas. Pavelski is skating again.
That's good. Yeah,
he is at practice in non-contact jersey. But if it does go to 7, there's a potential you have Pavelski back.
Wouldn't that be something? Like absolute vengeance tour.
Yeah.
Just given what. Yeah, that's really unfortunate what happened to him. But yeah, glad to hear he's coming back. What I wanted to know is, you said are these the two most complete teams in the playoffs? What made you feel that way about Minnesota specifically?
Because when I watch these games, like this is what if I had to tell someone this is what a typical playoff hockey is like, I tell them to watch this series. Like they play hard, they check, they're scoring goals. It's a tight game. It's not like there's offensive blowouts game to game. It feels like this is what I imagine playoff hockey to be like, and there's teams feel evenly matched on offense, on defense, on goaltending. Jake Ottinger's an incredible goalie. Yeah. But Gustafsson has been putting in some great performances.
Yes, he has.
So, honestly, that's what I'm seeing. Like,
got it.
If I had to game plan against these teams, the only option I feel like I have is to ram my head against the wall and just hope to beat them at their own game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that series is a lot of fun to watch. I've been really enjoying seeing those games.
Would you say that's a coaching battle, too, then? A lot of strategy involved?
I think so. I think less so than the other ones just because of how these teams are built. They're built to play in a similar way, I feel like, with the roster decisions they have.
Yeah.
Also, it's really funny that Ryan Suter and John Klingberg basically switch teams and they're not playing against each other.
I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that. I'm glad someone else mentioned that.
Yeah,
so.
It's really... Yeah. But I feel like whoever wins this series, I think can win round 2 and go to a West final.
I think it's going to be Dallas, for sure.
Yeah, and if it's not Dallas, then it's the team that beat them, which is Minnesota.
Yeah. I can see that.
All right. Moving on to the Pacific, Vegas, Winnipeg. Vegas looking dominant.
This series is going. I know you said, like you expected the, Dallas Minnesota series to go. Well, I guess Boston Florida as well to go exactly as you expected. This series is exactly how I expected it to go. Vegas. I mean, Winnipeg. Sure, they got their one game, but they're toast. They're done. This is going to be done in 5. And I don't really have much else to add. I saw this coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
Vegas is winning this in 5.
Yeah, and honestly, with the injuries Winnipeg has suffered, I think a comeback will be really tough.
It's done. Yeah.
Josh Morrissey is out. Mark Scheifele left Game 4. So that's your top D-man and your top center.
Yeah.
Nikolai Ehlers is also out.
Yeah. They're done. It was a good... They have a lot of spirit. They have a lot of heart. But it's not enough against a team like Vegas.
Do you think Hellebuck can put the team on his back?
For the rest of the series?
Yeah.
No. He's a phenomenal... Any team would love to have him as a goalie. To beat Vegas 3 times in a row? No.
All right.
No. I mean, sure, San Jose did it once, but I think a lot of it is Vegas blew that. Vegas messed that up for themselves.
Yeah, San Jose did it off the back of Martin Jones, which is like once in a blue moon.
Yeah, and even then, Fleury let in kind of a pretty soft goal in double overtime of Game 6, I think it was.
The hurdle goal?
Yeah, the hurdle goal. I mean, dude, come on. I almost think Vegas blew that more than San Jose won it, honestly. Yeah. Truly. There was multiple occasions where Vegas should have closed that out, and they didn't. Connor Hellebuck is very, very talented. I don't think he's going to get put up 3 games against Vegas, no, I don't see it happening.
What's impressed me the most about Vegas is that game after game, they just seem to get better.
Yep.
And like specifically Jack Eichel, this is his first time in the playoffs,
Yeah.
which is hard to comprehend, but it is.
Yeah.
But he gets better every game.
Yeah.
Mark Stone getting more and more into the groove. Their top players, I feel like, are getting better and better. So it's just getting harder and harder to beat Vegas.
Yeah.
I think. Like I said, whoever wins Dallas, Minnesota is going up to the final. I think they might be facing the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I would love to see a Dallas Vegas rematch. I think they played in 2020 in the bubble for the West Finals. I'd love to see that again, which is funny because Pierre DeBoer is now coaching Dallas instead of Vegas.
The DeBoer effect.
Yeah, yeah, it gets you far, but maybe this is the year. We'll see. There's a lot of this. Maybe this is the year in this playoffs, which is why I love it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah.
All right, last series, Edmonton, LA. Can I nickname this one the Special Teams Series?
Yes, you can.
This is all power play goals and penalty kills back and forth, back and forth. Honestly, Edmonton should be up 3-1 if they stop taking dumb penalties.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think this has been one of the more entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what your definition of hockey entertainment is. If you like absolute drama and just biblical collapses, then go watch Toronto and Tampa. But if you want, again, this is one of those good hard hockey series in my opinion, along with the Dallas Minnesota series. Super entertaining. I mean, I think I watched the Edmonton Rogers Place outside watch party reaction so many times on the Zach Hyman overtime goal. I mean, this is what playoff hockey's about. Sure, there's a lot of special teams involved, but man, has it been entertaining to watch, even with the overtime thrillers and everything. Yeah, it's been really entertaining.
I think we're looking at a new Pacific rivalry for the next 3 to 4 years.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. LA is on the rise. Edmonton's not going anywhere soon. They're going to meet again in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is reminding me... Watching the series reminds me of the series like the Sharks and Kings had in the 2010s.
Yeah.
You can tell these teams hate each other.
Yeah.
It's getting ticky-tacky and penalties and all that.
Yeah.
And so far so good. The Kings have been better at being disciplined.
Yes.
So I think they found a way to get under Edmonton's skin. And plus with, like I said, last episode, Philip Deneau just smothering Connor McDavid. Honestly, LA has a chance to beat them.
Yeah.
And it's 2-2.
Yeah.
This is brutal.
Yeah,
it's gonna be brutal.
I do think. You said yes. The Kings are very disciplined, but I also think, sure, Connor McDavid's been around in the series, but not as dominant of a force as I expected. You know what I mean? I thought he would.
You see him carry the puck into the zone, and there's 3 Kings on him.
Of course, yeah. The defense of the Kings has been stellar.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie about that, but. I don't know. McDavid's always had this magic about him. He's just been pulling off the impossible. I think he's been doing a great job, unless maybe that's the Edmonton strategy. Maybe they know that, Leon is going to be open and everyone's going to be going for McDavid. So, hey, send it to Leon. He'll take care of it. And I don't even remember how many points that man's put up so far. But
I think he's leading the playoff scoring.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, something ridiculous. He's second.
Second. Mitch Marner passed him. But I think he's leading. Is he leading on goals? He is tied for the lead in goals with Mikko Rantanen and Chris Kreider.
Yeah.
5 goals, 4 points. 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points for Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, it's still crazy. And it's game 5 hasn't even started yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal. Unreal.
And, who knows? If they make it through this, maybe next series it's McDavid.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Edmonton.
Yeah, just the absolute double Titan effect. One steps back, the other one takes a spotlight. So I don't even know how you're supposed to defend that, honestly. Good luck, other teams. So,
all right, those are all the series.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we're all excited about all of them.
Yeah.
Lots of storylines to follow. Just real quick, going over some things off the ice. This was a story that all Sharks fans' ears perked up at. Doug Wilson, the longtime general manager of the Sharks, who stepped down end of last season, says he wants back into the NHL. And this is from Elliot Friedman and was then picked up by San Jose reporters. We were looking at the article from Shane Penn. Doug Wilson. Yeah. One good thing is that the reason he stepped down, he said, was for his health.
Yeah.
So if he's looking like he wants to come back, then maybe he's feeling better. Yeah. So that is good to hear.
Yes.
But some thoughts on him coming back. Do you want him in San Jose? Not as general manager, maybe some other role, but in San Jose.
Truthful answer, no. Because, don't get me wrong, he's done everything he can, excluding maybe the final 3 to 4 years of his tenure. He did everything he could to make the team I mean, they were making the playoffs, almost every season. Yeah. They missed one, they came right back, went far in the playoffs. I mean, you can't put the Sharks' lack of playoff success on Doug Wilson. He did what he could, but the Sharks have a history of doing the same shit over and over and over and expecting a different result. How many times have they brought back an assistant coach or someone? I mean, Mike Greer used to play for the team. He's never been a general manager ever. But the Sharks stay in this territory of familiarity, and it's doomed them for how long? I don't think bringing Doug Wilson is going to solve any of their problems.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time for new blood in San Jose.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they kind of cleared house as much as they could. Yeah. With Burns going out, Thornton, Pavelski was a while ago. I don't expect Vlasic or Couture to get new contracts when their contracts are up. Meyer's gone, so maybe Hurdle sticks around. But yeah, I think it's time for some new thought process. Yeah, I'm okay with Mike Greer. Like you said, he hasn't been a GM before. Yeah, but honestly, I feel like the NHL is like the same, 30 GMs rotate? Sorry, the 32 teams. So the same 35 GMs rotate in and out. Yeah. Having Mike Greer in, I think, is nice. Yes. Some fresh blood. Yeah. He is new, but we'll see. I think jury's still out on his job. Yeah. But yeah, I think not in San Jose for Doug Wilson.
Yeah, I do think, if he decides to come back, again, glad he's doing better health-wise, but I think some other team should really be taking a chance on him. There's already this offseason, so we got Calgary, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh who are in need of a GM. Pittsburgh completely clean house. They're in need of everybody. Yeah, I could very easily see Doug Wilson going to Pittsburgh. I don't know how long he would stay. I don't remember how his health. I don't know his health conditions. I don't know what his age is. Yeah, or interest level. But I mean, I think he could do some really good things for Pittsburgh. I just don't think it's going to work with San Jose, again, because of the history they have of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Doug Wilson was at his best when he was GMing an underdog. If I remember, his best moves were the years that San Jose wasn't really considered a threat. Yeah. But he had to make something happen with his team. Yeah. And he got them into the playoffs. They never went all the way, but I don't think you can fault Doug Wilson for that. Yeah. And then the moves that everyone says kind of ruined his time, like the ending, was when San Jose was a serious contender. Yeah. And he tried to keep that going or supplement it, and he gave out 2 large contracts with too many terms to 2 old players. Yeah. And so I think Doug Wilson is at his best at a team that needs a little bit of tweaking as kind of an underdog. Yeah. So I would rather see him somewhere like Calgary. Not saying Calgary are underdogs. They should be better than they are. Yeah. But with Pittsburgh, when you have Malkin and Crosby there, I think that needs more of a gentle hand than what Doug Wilson is.
Got it. Okay.
So I like to see him in Calgary. That'd be fun. The other team that needs a GM is Philly, but it seems like Daniel Briere, who was named the interim, is probably going to keep that job. Yeah, there's also a chance that he joins as something like president of hockey ops or director of scouting, something like that. The Sharks scouting generally has been kind of praised until recently. So maybe something like that as well.
Right. And kind of going back to what you said about, needing fresh blood, I think the reason some Sharks fans have, still some sort of resentment towards Doug Wilson is, all these long contracts that have been handed out, and we're literally unable to move on from the past and look to a brighter future because of all these no movement clauses on 8-year, just expensive contracts that nobody's going to try to take on. I mean, even with the Meyer and Burns contract, they were both traded and were retaining some salary on both of them. And it's just, so that has unfortunately ruined the image of Doug Wilson for a lot of the Sharks fans, but, give respect where it's due. He's done a fantastic job, and I think he can easily turn around a team, if they let him have the control, Just let him work his magic. He's done great things for the Sharks, and playoff success or lack thereof has not been Doug Wilson's fault by any means.
Yeah, even the ending there, it was very clear that his strategy was go all in starting from 2016.
Yeah.
And until the window closes, just go all in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the best they got was a Western Conference appearance in 19.
Yeah.
And that's just hockey, baby.
Yeah, that just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You gotta have the timing right. And, while we're here coping and projecting with it, but, we're, maybe there's hope in the future. We'll see. Let's see how this playoffs goes. Maybe there's something to learn from it.
Yep. I think that's all for this episode. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right. So we're looking out to next couple series here. By the time we come back with our next episode, we'll probably be talking about the second round. Mm-hmm. So, keep it tuned here. And this has been Glass Seats.
And in the words of Charles Barkley, stop watching the NBA playoffs and watch some hockey, baby.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Peace.